everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield. I'm a professional dancer, professional dance choreographer, and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States. And this is the Street Woman Fighter Season 1 Megacrew Challenge. So I'm going to take a look at all 7 Megacrews from the first season of Street Woman Fighter. I have not seen any of them, nor do I know who won within the Megacrew Challenge specifically. So this is going to be really fun for me. I'm very excited about it, and you know, let's just go ahead and let's get into it. Boning and the corsets.
We do my life domination. You realize all the time we waste. You realize all the pain we face. Please pour a cup feminine libation.
Oh, this gives me Wolf Flow vibes.
We raise you. Please sympathize all the lies we raise you. Please realize all the time. Family energy, drank a couple quarters on my course, then I code up. If I rule the world, money stacks for all my daughters. Never asked for payment in the womb ×9. Now we see the blood on the street ×try.
You know me, I'm a killer for some head isos.
Indestructible in the vaginal, heaven in thine. Heaven is mine. Spiritual, lyrical, mother sang sweetest taboo, rickle vein. The birds and the bees ain't got nothing. Energy.
Playboy, I said play, nigga.
Hey. Okay, got some tatty.
Lights up the fire, you know we getting higher. Rolling up the loud, real niggas moving quiet. Like it, then I buy it. You donkeys on a diet. Bringing all my jewels, I know I start a riot. Riding with the blicker, messing up makeup. You blowing up a phone, she ain't trying to pick up. Drinking out the bottle, Lena with a model. I throw 100 racks up, you think I hit the lotto. Riding with the wolves, I ain't talking Minnesota. Shorty coming over, go and bend it over. Let me plank on it, put a drink on it. Heard you a freak, put my name on it. Montana.
Wow, that was a nice finish. Okay, let's talk about it. Initial thoughts. They do read very Wolf Flow to me in their vibe, you know, but I feel like Wolf Flow has more of a old school hip hop groove, rock and bounce about them, but I think that really stems from their background. I would say this is a great start, I think, for the Megacrews. Love this beginning, super chill. I think it could have to do with the timbre of the music or just how the production of the song is. It's very chill, not quite lo-fi, but I really love this whole beginning. And the camera work here is great. They're choosing when they want us to get started with the track. I love the coloration, the color grading, the melts. Can we just talk about just the jewelry? So mad impressive. Do you see how honkin' large those earrings are? Love the choice of just the mix of the jewelry with the diamonds mixed with the different type of braiding of the earrings. And then I also love the silver accents on the corset. That's a really sick corset. I love. Now, yeah, they have it on, it looks like they have it on everybody, it looks like. So this part is what really feels like Wolf Flow to me, because I mentioned whenever I reacted to their Megacrew, they made a lot of those choices where everybody was going outward, but they were doing the same texture or technique, but they were all exploring different pathways in the range that they were at. And so that's what really gave off that vibe to me, and I love it. I love that reverb and then the branch out. That was super fun. Into that's super fun too. I would say they're very clean on their formations, which is really good for Mega. I love that too. 3, 4. I think that it would have been really cool, because something that we have seen when somebody's done this style is they've had, I feel like you have to be mindful of unison sections, where with Megacrews, if you do too many unison sections, it brings down your overall complexity and difficulty score. And so I know this isn't like that type of competitive Megacrew in nature, I know that, but a lot of where I'm coming from is from that lens, so do forgive me if I'm over projecting or over analyzing whenever it's not really supposed to be the case. But just noticing the aerial shots really help in order for us to see everybody, but normally if you get just a fixed angle, a lot of this could get lost in translation if everybody stays kind of in the same realm, you know, and they are exploring similar choices that they've already made from the forefront. And I like that everybody is still here and we have a feature in the center. That's nice. And then they all join. So I do feel like this is about number 3 now, and it's been about 48 seconds, and this is our third everybody's making their own choice situation. It does match the music, don't get me wrong, but it is something that can subtly lose its luster, or it can lose what makes it as stylistically pleasing from the forefront, right? Because you want to create things that keep people's attention, draw people's attention, but not only that, you want people to be able to understand and find the fingerprints and your focal points that you want. And if you take a focal point and you overproduce the focal point in various aspects of your routine, then no longer is a focal point. It's just a section, right? And I think that's just my note here. Now, you know me, I love a great head ISO. Let's take a look at this one here. So they went up, and then they rotated around. I really love that. It's really difficult to get a lot of people to do a head isolation correctly, and I think that they did a great job there. I think in general, that was really nice. I like the choice of some people staying down and some axing to up, and then creating a different group, but not the exact opposite amount of people. Like, I like we're dealing with 3 groups of people here, where you have your first group and then your second pops up where you still have people still in that first section. I really love that into an add-on. That's fun. I wonder if the ones who are in Holybang, theirs are completely bedazzled, and those who are not have chains. It's what it looks like. I'm not sure, but I really like how they had people go to the floor and then come up. But I do feel, and then nice with the columns, they're just not as clean as they should be. I know that they're dropping to the floor, but still, you still have people that are more in front of their line. So it's kind of looking like this a little bit, and you just want to be very mindful of that, especially when you have cameras that do aerial shots. It's really tricky to hide that, especially if everyone's supposed to do unison. Even there, everyone, I know that some people were coming up to peek out, like I know she was, but she still should have meshed really well so she didn't stick out and then come out. It would have looked more like a surprise there. I like the walk forward. That's a really nice, I really liked what they did there. Some subtle gliding there, using their torso. Yeah, so I would say they're really taking they're taking a smooth, subtle approach to how they're doing their grooves, which I really like. Don't get me wrong. Love that wave. Do-do-do-do-do. That was fun. It's just very satisfying. It feels good. And honestly, trying to hit this type of groove is difficult to do whenever you're not given a lot of the clothing or fashion that vibes well with that type of groove or pocket. And it is impressive what they're doing. It is pretty clean for the most part. Do I feel that it is lacking in the complexity of levels or maybe the formation choices? I really feel like the content is really nice and it matches the music well, but I do feel that we're running into a really small problem of overusing certain pockets or certain grooves or certain explorations. Now, whenever this pops off, that's really nice. Where it pops off, it does well. Now I know whenever I did the Megacrews for Street Woman Fighter Season 2, I was very sensitive to the music, right? So I'm really trying to make it equal standing and not care so much about the music, but make it equal with the mashup with the track. Now I think the build up, like how it didn't stand out of, ooh, this is obviously a different track. Like they did a pretty good job with the mix, and how they transitioned it was pretty good as well. But we are still chilling a little too much in unison for my personal, not personal preference. Based on my training, this would be deemed too, this would have too much unison here, and it would lower your score. I like the choice of the vibrations, but everybody was hanging out on the midline, so it did look like everybody kind of stalled, which is probably what they wanted. I think if there was more variety of the levels, because we've kind of been lacking in that area in complexity, I feel like that would have really affected or created a fuller picture. I like the tutting here and the dip down. Now I will say they did that dip here, and I think they ended up doing something similar near the tail end. You know me, I've already talked about this with some analysis with Street Woman Fighter Season 2 about choreographies. Whenever you repeat a groove throughout, sometimes it works if it's a fingerprint and it matches your music and it calls for it, and sometimes it feels like a placeholder. So that's just, you want to make sure that you don't make people even think that, right? The bleed through, I do like that choice, and instead of it being a single line, they doubled it up, so they have these micro diagonals, which is super fun, which I like. And then you had your dancers go through. We see a dancer peeking through the wings. I mean, at the end of the day, that doesn't really matter, but I feel like those are just little small things. I do like when some of their basket runs, they are integrating themselves in the groove as they go. So that's a really great note to put here for this crew. I like that. Nice little group here. Down, some turns. I really like that there's multiple things going on. I love what's happening back here. Also mixed with here, but it built up from what was happening up here and branching out. I really love that. That was nice. Probably one of my favorite sections. But they did that dip back. We've already seen that, but it was in the center, but they chose to switch the direction. I think that's fine because it's not the exact same thing they did. Yeah, but I will say that part of the fact that we're seeing a lot of unison, it does come across like they did a bunch of combos, like they split up, they did a bunch of combos, and then they're putting them all together, versus here's the content and we're workshopping ways to make it mesh itself in the music. It just feels like choreography to music, not we're telling a story, we're really trying to represent a concept, or we're really trying to hold ourselves as Holybang, if that makes sense. It just feels like this is Holybang's choreo. You know, that was a nice surprise moment that happened there. It was great twerking technique. Nice aerials. Yeah, that was really fun. I like the lighting here. I really like the usage of using the box. I think we've seen that. I think Deep and Dot did a box like that. I think other crews may have done it too. I've seen it at competition with some of the studios I work for. We've used this box formation before. It just looks nice with a lot of people. And I believe these are my Holybang dancers, right? Yeah, I do feel like it just feels a bit underwhelming unless you have everybody here doing the same thing. I think that's something that in a mega crew, you want multiple facets of it to feel like you want to be captivated by multiple facets, not just the what makes a mega crew, which is the number. Like, I love the formation. This is just crisp and clean. I love this. This gets an A for me for their formation. It's really, really nice. Symmetrical. Everybody has a place. I love that. But this type of formation shouldn't be the only place where I feel captivated by what I'm watching. I love that. But they are doing some, like I said, they are doing a lot of unison, and because they've already done it so much before, it does leave a sense of underwhelmment in comparison if they didn't do as much unison before this point, you know? Yeah, and then they finished back. This was such a fun ending. Honestly, too, it's a lot of, you have to trust the people around you to make sure they're properly spaced in order for you to dip back without getting your hair caught on their knee or on their foot, or you actually having enough room to dip back. So mad props for these dancers for that. I would say this is a pretty average start. I'm gonna rank them here of who I feel would kind of vibe best here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more Street Woman Fighter content, season 1 and season 2, I will have it on my Patreon as I edit these. If you're watching this on YouTube, good chance this has already been out for a week to 2 weeks already, earlier, prior to the release of this here. And so if you're somebody that wants to get in on the action as it happens, Patreon is a great place to look. But if you're totally fine with being patient and waiting it out, it will show up here eventually. I will say there's a couple things from season 1 that are blocked from YouTube. YouTube just doesn't want me to upload it here. So I do have some blocked content from the first season, like I believe as of right now I have a K-pop challenge YGX versus Want. That is not playable on YouTube, but it is on Patreon. If you really want to see my thoughts on that one, you can check it out there. But yeah, thank you guys again, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.